here we go. Timothy Scott, Caleb Luttrell, Zach Carmichael, Tom Loretta, Austin Media, Davey Collins, Travis Jonesmeyer, Marvin Gish, and Brandon Comerford. And who's it going to be? They are off, and our 65, 7-9 looks like a clean start. Yeah, everybody on two wheels through turn one and going to make it through turn two as well. Looks like a clean start for our 65, 7-9 CC riders. Working their way down through the short chute now. Christopher Harris on that number 12 Cobra coming out of Lippin, Texas with that hole shot. Right now, it looks like we have a Kawasaki rider out front. So Harris looks like he has surrendered that lead position right after that hole shot. And here we go out of the 10 Commandments back into Storyland right now. And holy cow, look at the rut starting to develop back there in Storyland. Going to have a few shadows as well to deal with early in this one. And I can tell you, Rodney, we have got a race on our hands already in this 65, 7-9 class.
No doubt about it. And good to see my neighbor, Christopher Harris, getting that hole shot there. You know, I got Christopher Harris as a neighbor, and I got Big James Stewart as a next-door neighbor.
I didn't know you lived in Texas.
Well, I'm talking about here at the ranch, our home away from home here at the Dude Ranch. That's my neighbor up there. Big James is my neighbor up on top of the hill as well. So I'm living in the big leagues up there. It looks like.
Well, you think you're Brentwood? Hey, Big James, one of the funnest guys ever to camp with. I've had the pleasure to camp beside him a few times, and great guy to just bench race with and be around in general. Great dude.
No doubt about that. StaCyc Cycles Whole Stability Cycle Hole Shot Award again to Christopher Harris as we get it all sorted out here. Nearing the completion of lap number 1, we do have that number 44 machine out front, and again, that is Ryder Ellis out of North Fork, California on a Team Green Kawasaki backed by Dunlop Elite. Not just the regular Dunlop tires, but he's a part of that Dunlop Elite team. Also Fly Racing, Scott Pro Circuit, Throttle Syndicate, and Alpine Stars, all bringing this young man and some action to the racetrack. We got Ellis followed by Christopher Harris, your early leader there on board the number 12. Gage Dunham, KTM rider number 51 in third. Braden Comerford, the 99 in fourth. Darren Pine, Cobra Mounted Pilot in fifth. Then Justin Schupp, the 56 in sixth. Wyatt Duff in seventh. Cooper Johnson is eighth. Gage Brown in the number 9 spot. And Colin Todd rounds out your top 10. As we check back a little further, 11 through 20 here on lap number 1. Davey Collins, the number 92 and 11. Travis Johnsmeyer, the number 94 and 12 to 38. Mason Houghton in 13th. Colin Gallardo in the number 14 spot. Drake Shelton, the number 39 in 15th. In 16th, Wyatt Thurman. He rides aboard that number 8 machine. We've got the 71 of Bentley Walker, KTM rider in 17th place. The 13 of Malachi Kraft in 18th. And Alan Holmes, the number 11, rounding out 19th place position with Brody Moss, the 23, back there in that number 20 position at the end of lap number 1.
Yeah, I know it's only one lap, but these gaps, these kids riding right on top of each other, fender to fender, man. Going to be easy to get confused whose handlebars are whose.
Might reach over and grab the wrong clutch.
Oh,
like
man. And I love it. You know, we see the racecraft development in these guys, and we talked about the young age, like Ryder D getting that championship at 4 years old.
Right.
Makes him like an AMA 2-year-old or something. I don't know. But nonetheless, these guys, veterans, by the time they get to 7 to 9 class, these guys 3 or 4 years of racecraft, and a lot of these 9 years old, man, they've been out there 6 seasons, you know, and to watch ride beyond their years, amazing. Like everything else, the next generation learns a little quicker.
Yeah, and that's a pretty amazing fact that you point out. The if. I mean, a rider 9, maybe you know, he's AMA 9, maybe 10 years old. Theoretically, this could be his 6th championship season,
right?
And he's like 9 years old.
Exactly. I'm not being funny, man. That's the way it is.
That is amazing how that works out. Now, not necessarily. It may be closer to 5 for most, because not everybody's able to make it at 4 and that young 5.
Cut.
Yeah, that cut. I mean, it does get pretty tough even at that level. But theoretically speaking, yeah, this could be their 6th season of amateur national championship racing, and saying something like that for a 9, 10-year-old kid, that's saying a whole lot, man. That's more than half their life. life that they've been a part of this particular type of racing. And that's basically the only thing they know. Their first memories are nothing but motorcycle racing.
And what's funny, we all know, we think everybody lives just like we do, you know, at 4 or 5, 6 years until you go to your friend's house and you see maybe it's a little messy, or his mom lets him do something you don't do, or they eat different things than you do. Well, the same way here, right? Hey, these guys think everybody's been doing this since they're 3. Hey, that's what we do. Hey, everybody races.
That's just the way it is, but that's not the way it is. But it is for these guys. As Ellis still holds on to the lead. Harris in second, Comerford in the number 3 spot, Wyatt Duff in fourth, Darren Pine after 2 in fifth, Gage Dunham in 6th, Justin Schuff is 7th, Cooper Johnson now 8th, Gage Brown 9th, and Wyatt Thurman rounds out your top 10. Looking at the gaps, there's 5 seconds, almost 6 seconds back to Chris Harris in the number 2 spot, 5.3 seconds back to Braden Comerford, another 8 seconds back to Wyatt Duff. So it looks like these riders are kind of edged on each other, at least in the early part of it. They're able to establish some early dominances amongst themselves out there. And, you know, I talked about the youngster yesterday. I think he threw it away in one of the other 65cc classes he was racing in. Threw it away, and what I mean by throwing it away, had the lead, fell down to 10 Commandments, dropped back to second place position. Chris Harris, he got the whole shot this time. Ellis got around him, and he's been having a tough time keeping that pace. But, you know, I talked about Christopher the other day on Monday when he was racing, or when he was practicing, and you know, just want to throw this out here again. This kid, you know, I know you're gonna be like, you come from the off-road, Rodney, so that's why you're touting this kid's talents. But no, I will say this: he does come from the off-road racing scene in Texas. He was the youngest rider to ever win the overall in that Texas Championship Series going on down there as far as the off-road racing was concerned. He and his brother making the decision a couple of years ago to start riding motocross. So here's the thing: coming into this race at the Super Regional this year, there was an incident, and you see his woods racing roots come back.
You told us about that.
And I read this on the MX Sports website, but basically what happened, young kid that he was competing against went down, got pinned under his bike. Christopher literally stopped at the qualifier, got off his machine, picked the bike up off the kid so he could free him up and let him go and let him get out. And then Chris got back on his bike, remounted, and finished out his race. That right there, I think, deserves a whole lot of credit and sportsmanship accolades, because that right there says a whole lot. It also shows his roots coming from the off-road scene, because oftentimes those kids get out there and they get so far away, you know, they get pinned under a bike, they get hurt. They know there's nobody around to come help them for a few minutes, so they stop just to make sure. And that's what Christopher did. He translated that from the off-road side, the wood side of things, into the moto side of things. And, you know, whether or not it paid him dividends on the racetrack, it sure won him a lot of hearts as far as I'm concerned, and a whole lot of respect as far as racing is concerned also.
Yeah, no question. You know, you get those situations in the woods, like you said, you're remote like that, and, you know, you need, and sometimes that guy's laying there blocking the trail. So you got to pick him up. But you know what?
He did it at a moto track when there's track officials and everybody.
Harris did it on a moto track in front of EMT and referees.
Yeah, and it wasn't because he wanted patted on the back. He knows what it's like.
Exactly. And, you know, here we go, much of the same. 44, Ryder Ellis. Watch this guy come through this beach turnover. This guy's feet up, over the front of the bars, man. His form is really good. I can tell you right now, you talk about focus. That kid is focused right now. I'm watching him hit every mark. And these 65s, these smaller wheels, man, it's tough right now in some of these ruts, some of these braking bumps, and some of these sections. And I tell you what, this kid is on point right now. I know Ryan Holliday's keeping an eye on this dude as well. But that number 44 showing us the quick way around this track and making it look like he's on a much bigger bike.
You know, I don't know if it's me or whether it's the classes, but something seems a little different as far as racing goes today. And the thing that seems different to me is, while we're witnessing through these first 3-4 races here this morning, is these kids, once they establish that early dominance up front, they have been pretty much tough to knock off that pace and off that out of that scenario with a first place position. So, you know, once these riders battle in a lap, 2 laps, whatever it takes them to get in the first place, maybe they get the whole shot, maybe they get around and establish. But I mean, the riders up front today really have seemed to establish a big role of dominance as far as these motos are concerned. A little different than what I recall from yesterday, when the battles up front really seemed to be very tough, tight, when we were seeing 1.5 second battles, 1.5 to 2 second battles, right down to the wire and right down to the checkers oftentimes.
Interesting observation, and you're man down there on the podium, so you're feeling this. But I'm getting I don't know, more of a sense of confidence out of some of these kids. And like you said, once it's been established or once they got out there and they dominated, I mean, these kids are prepared this year. They've had a little extra time. It seems like some of them homeschooled, some of them not. But nonetheless, you've had your opportunity to get out there and get prepared. And the guys who are up front believe they belong there.
Yeah, and you know, and a lot of that may be we're getting into a lot of these classes where these are the second classes for many of the riders that we're seeing out here. You know, whether they're running a stock or a mod or a limited or a mod class or whatever the case may be. You know, they change them up. But the thing about it is their confidence. I think you're right. The first race jitters are out of the way for a lot of them. So, you know, the first motos and the other classes, they seem a little more confident coming into them. And maybe that's why they are displaying these types of confidence. I mean, we're looking at nearly 8 seconds right now between first and second. Another 11 seconds back to the number 3 spot of Braden Comerford. Darren Pine in fourth aboard the number 58. This is after 4 laps of racing complete. Rounding out the top 5, the 51 of Gage Dunham. That's the tightest battle on the track right there for 4th place. Half a second separating those guys. It's another 8 seconds back to Wyatt Duff. It's another 5 seconds back to Wyatt Thurman. And there is another battle as Gage Brown from the 8th place position is making a challenge to 7th place. So, I mean, we've got 2 battles throughout the top 10, and the rest of the positions out there are at least 5 seconds or more.
Right. That's a gap to overcome.
That's huge. I mean, and that is a big difference in what we were seeing yesterday, I think.
Yeah, when your lap times are 2:19, and then all of a sudden you guys get yourself spread out. You've got clean track early in the moto, and then you're talking about gaps of 5, 8, 4, 9 seconds. So, you know, those are big gaps, bro.
Those are huge gaps. So keeping an eye now on the 51 of Gage Dunham, the 58 of Darren Pine, as those are the top runners out there. There's the number 8 of Wyatt Thurman. Also Gage Brown, the 7.765 behind him on the number 19. So those are the 2 battles that we're watching here in the top 10. And there is that 7th place ride of Wyatt Thurman right now, as I believe he's still holding on to that position as he nears the completion of his 5th lap. We see Ellis is in, Christopher Harris is in, Braden Comerford in. Darren Pine has checked in now, 6.2 seconds ahead of Gage Dunham. Wyatt Duff now checking in 4.9 seconds ahead. So there's Wyatt Thurman. So we see one of those battles start to subside. Actually, both battles have subsided quite a bit now. Thurman now establishing dominance there in that 7th place position by 3.1 seconds. Gage Brown dominantly holding on to that 8th place position by 10.7 seconds over Justin Schuff, the number 56. This is almost like watching GNCC lap times out here. And the differences in a GNCC, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Those are wheel-to-wheel battles. In a motocross race here at Loretta Lynn's, 3 seconds is a pretty good distance whenever you look at the big picture.
It's a section.
You're absolutely correct. It can be a section, 3 seconds. Yeah.
Hey, who caught my eye early on Monday just by style? I wasn't familiar with the name or anything, but I got to tell you, I'm impressed with the number 58, Darren Pine.
Yeah.
That guy's a solid rider, man.
He has been.
That guy is not flashy, but he's always gone fast. He's always put himself in the right position, and you know, his lap times are always there, you know, up near the front. And that guy's been lingering up front, but I just like the way he rides his motorcycle. You know, just like his style.
He is a Cobra Motorcycles back rider.
Yep.
Also backed by B's Moto Lab Shift, 100% Roost, Pro Taper DT1, and Dunlop Tires, who remind you to ride Dunlop. He's riding Dunlop.
Yeah, and Dunlop right now, wow, I got to tell you, almost every single tread pattern and compound in the big bike tire is available in a mini bike tire. And that's one of Rob Fox's proudest. He's like a proud papa. You know, you see him carrying around a 12-inch knobby in his arms, you know. He's got a bottle, you know. He's like, oh, our newest introduction, you know, our newest member of the family.
Check out the MX-53 Junior right here.
2 pounds, 11 ounces. So anyways,
and that's not premature. That's
that's full term. Yeah.
So 6 laps down for our front 2. Ellis and Harris checking in. Now still right around that 8-second lap. Harris has been maintaining a pretty decent position back behind Ellis, as we said, right in that 8-second range. He actually turned about a 0.4 of a second faster lap that time around. Speaking of fast laps, The fastest lap that we've seen Ryder Ellis turn so far has been a 2:17.303. That was on lap number 3, and his times have now dropped down to a 2:22.6. So 2:17 seems to be the fast lap in the 65cc 7 to 9-year-old class. So gauging against that, riders like Christopher Harris turning a 2:18.6 for his fastest lap. Darren Pine, whom you pointed out there, at 2:19.5, back in the 4th place position is his fastest lap. So you know if he put a couple of good consistent laps together, he should be able to overcome Braden Comerford there, who's looking at a near 15-second gap between the 2nd and 3rd place positions, but only 1.6 seconds back to Darren Pine that last time around.
Yeah, keeping an eye on him right now, and that is Pine we're watching on the monitor. So he's putting...
And that's Comerford right there.
Yeah.
We're right ahead of him. There we go into the Storyland, and we've got a battle right now going on for the 3rd place position. This is our final podium spot. This is for Moto Bronze right now. Comerford had pretty much established what I thought was kind of a dominant position for that 3rd place. But, hey, a couple of laps, a few second extra, faster turns around the race course, and this is the result of it. We get ourselves a great battle pushing in the latter half of this 65cc 7 to 9-year-old class.
Yeah, you see Pine working those insides. He knows where he's at. Look at this, trying to make the move happen up over that Yamaha mountain. And watch, he's going to cross over the track. He goes clear inside here. It might happen in front. There goes Darren Pine on the 58 machine up and over the tabletop right in front of us, Rodney, and making that pass stick. Actually pulling out about 6 to 8 bike lengths in a matter of one section, Rodney.
Turbocharged Cobra motorcycle, knowing when to push the afterburners, and Lord have mercy, look at him go, starting to
telling you, man,
out there. Darren Pine,
he caught my eye Monday
in the number 3 spot now. It's Ryder Ellis, Christopher Harris, Darren Pine, and Braden Comerford checking in with our 7 laps complete. We are at 2 laps. 2-lap board is out, so I'm going to head on down and get ready for celebrations.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, sometimes Pine almost looks a little stiff. He's just got this so solid riding style that, you know, he doesn't let the bike move a lot. He controls the bike with the lower body, uses the arms to really guide that bike a bit. And I got to tell you, it's a neat style, and it's very effective, man. Like I said, caught my eye early, and here he is, puts himself into the 3rd position behind Ryder Ellis and Christopher Harris. Like you said, 2 laps to go in this one, and man, another solid moto here. Taking a look a little further back, we're going to take our Polysport top 20 right now. Ryder Ellis out front, of course, Christopher Harris in that 2nd position. Cobra mounted Darren Pine in the number 3 ride. Number 99, Brandon Comerford in that number 4 position. Gage Dunham in the 5th. Wyatt Thurman in 6th. Wyatt Duff in 7th. Gage Brown in the number 8 spot with Bentley Walker in 9th and Cooper Johnson in 10th. Justin Schuffs worked his way into the 11th spot. Brody Moss is now 12th. Davey Collins in that 13th ride. Colin Gallardo in 14th. Trenton Burton in 15th. Timothy Scott rides in the 16th spot, while Ryder Wren owns 17th. Bronx Grundy in that 18th spot. Lucas Trzynski got a big cheering section down here on the fence. He's in that 19th spot. And Mason Houghton completes your Polysport top 20. Going to be seeing that white flag come out here next time around. I believe the 2 left card's still out. I'm looking from a leader. Where is Ryder Ellis? Where is that number 44? There he comes, coming into sight right now, working his way around the Polysport beach one more time. Ryder Ellis in control of this one, needs to put in another good lap here. Going to pick up that white flag, but look at this guy working his way through the lappers. Very smooth, very cool, calm, and calculated, and showing a lot of maturity. The number 44 picking up that white flag, so 1 more to go. And again, I'm sure the bosses at Team Green keeping a close eye on that number 44 machine. Coming up next, going to be 450C, race number 25, 450C. And man, oh man, all kinds of action happening here. Not even 9:30 yet. 4 races in the books. Our 5th race of the day about to take off here in just a few moments down there on the line. Again, that is 450C. And coming up after 450C is going to be our 250 Pro Sport. So that is the next big step. 250 Pro Sport. That's the next step in the ladder, climbing to the top. And 250 Pro Sport will be coming up here. 250 Pro Sport will be coming up here in just a few moments. That'll be after our 450C. White flag continues to fly, and a few more shakeups here on this final lap. Right now, there's still Ryder Ellis, followed by Christopher Harris. Darren Pine doing a fantastic job in that number 3 position. Worked his way through several riders, put himself into a podium ride. Needs to hang on for about another half a lap. Braden Comerford in that number 4 spot. Gage Dunham holding on to a top 5 ride now. Needs to bring that one home, keep his championship hopes alive. Wyatt Thurman in the number 6 spot. Wyatt Duff in the number 7 ride. Bentley Walker now up into that number 8 position. Gage Brown in 9th. And Cooper Johnson rounding out our top 10. Number 44 should be making his way around through the back section here in just a moment. And it'll be the final time through for Ryder Ellis. Ryder not making too many mistakes here so far today. And there he comes out of the beach. See that bright yellow helmet. Got that Kawasaki tapped out there right now. That thing has been pinned since the drop of the gate, and a very precise ride here today from Ryder Ellis. Again, 450C coming up next. Those guys already on the line. And behind them in staging area are 250 Pro Sport. 250 Pro Sport going to be one of our most exciting motos here today. Lap times going to be very, very, very interesting as this thing's starting to get a bit rough. Take a look out through the beach. Take a look at some of these corners right now. And typical Loretta Lynn texture out there on this course, deep and rough. And those two things translate into bad news late into the moto. Start to get tired, start to get a little arm pump, and all of a sudden the ruts, the braking bumps just become almost immeasurable. And when you're dealing with temps in the 80 degrees, dealing with the humidity, man, that's where we're going to separate the athletes here in the late stages of this one. Of course, just about 5 minutes away or so here from getting our 450C started. The checker flag is out. We're going to make our way down to Rodney here in just a moment and find out exactly what type of training Ryder Ellis put in, how he made it happen here today. We're going to talk to Christopher Harris as well as Darren Pine.
Yeah, I tell you, that was definitely an impressive ride. Christopher Harris, Ryder Ellis laying it down there. Christopher Harris got off to a great start. He got the whole shot. Rode a good solid race back in 2nd place. So a couple of good solid riders, Ryder Ellis, Christopher Harris, and Darren Pine. Man, what a great push. We saw him pushing there late in the moto and taking over a podium position finish there in the last couple laps as Ryan Holiday down here helping get this Team Green machine up on the stand here as we bring Ryder around front. Ryder, come on around front, buddy. We'll try to fix this microphone for you. So there you go. Pull it down there to you. Keep. You could have left it on the stand, but that's all right. All right, so Ryder, congratulations to you, buddy. Tell us a little bit about this ride. Oh, we got to turn it on, I guess. Is it on? Talk. Hey, hit wireless 4 up on the board. We had to turn it off because it was left on. The wireless 4, it's the one that's off. It's about channel number 8 or 9 or so megawatt. Give it a check there. See what we got going on. Megawatt. Somebody with some sense on the board, please grab the microphone and turn it on the board. It's the only one channels that's off. It's an orange light. You just got to hit it, make the orange light come on. Megawatt. It's a test now, Ryder. See if that microphone works, buddy. Talk into that thing, see what we got going on. Still nothing going on there. Ehab, I hope that you're up there. Stand by just a second here. Let's make sure that everything is okay there. Everything is good on this end. Megawatt or someone in the tower, please turn on the microphone down here. It's one of the only lights that are off on the board. It's tough being the only guy knowing what's going on up there sometimes, as far as that end of it anyhow. All right, try it again, Ryder. Let's see if we're on yet. Nope, sorry about that. All right, you're just going to have to yell. I'll hold the microphone down here and turn it up. Ryder Harris, congratulations. Ryder Ellis, congratulations to you on a great ride. Tell us a little bit about that ride today, buddy.
It was good. It was good. I got a pretty good start. I got second, I think, and then up tires pulled me out of the gate. And yeah, and the Team Green Pro Circuit Kawasaki was railing. The suspension was amazing, and yeah.
Congratulations. Who do you want to say thanks to?
God, Mom, Dad, CP Racing Team, Team Green Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Ride Dunlop, Fly, Scott, Alpine Stars, Asterisk, 60, Maxima, you, my air filters, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
All righty, his air filters and everybody else. Ryder Ellis, ladies and gentlemen, taking the win down here as we go to second place, and the Whole Shot Award winner. How about it for Christopher Harris out of Texas, ladies and gentlemen, making his way up from Moto Silver and Whole Shot Award as well. Christopher, congratulations to you, my friend. Good job. Good jump off the line and a good jump off the gate. We're going to try this the same way maybe here, but tell us how you made this thing happen today, Christopher.
It was good for the first couple of laps, then kind of faded a little.
And, of course, who do you want to say thanks to?
My mom, my dad, Tapped House, Kyle Cunningham, Taylor Painter, Scott, Sean Smith, Tyson, John Mitchell, and anyone else that I forgot.
Good job. Congratulations to you, Christopher. Glad to see you up here. And how about it for our third place position and bronze medalist, Darren Pine, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Darren, congratulations to you on an outstanding ride. Tell me about your race.
It was good. You know, I didn't get the start I was hoping for. Just everybody piled on the roller, and I tried to go around it. I made a couple passes, and, you know, I got back up to third. It felt like a pretty good ride.
Awesome. It was an amazing ride, dude. Who do you want to say thanks to?
My mom and dad, my trainers, Zach and Kyle Regal, 100%, Bees Moto Lab, Cobra, Bruce, Shift, Fox, let's see, and anyone else, thank you.
All righty, there he is. Darren Pine, ladies and gentlemen. Check